You spent years dreaming about it. Maybe it started when you were a teenager, lying in your childhood bedroom, staring at the ceiling, counting down the days. The day you'd finally have your own space, your own rules, your own life. No one telling you when to come home, what to eat, how loud the music can be, who you can have over, and when they need to leave. Just you, and the beautiful, wide-open idea of freedom. You romanticized it, and honestly, why wouldn't you? Every movie, every TV show, every person you knew who'd already moved out made it look like the beginning of something extraordinary. Your own kitchen, your own schedule, your own version of a morning that doesn't have to match anyone else's. You'd finally get to find out who you actually are when nobody's watching, nobody's commenting, nobody's asking where you're going. That dream kept you going for a long time. Through the arguments at home, through the rules that felt suffocating, through the moments where you thought, I just need my own space and everything will fall into place. Moving out wasn't just a plan, it was a promise you made to yourself. Then the day finally comes. You load up whatever car is available, yours, a friend's, a rented van with a dent in the bumper, and you move your things in. Boxes, bags, that one piece of furniture that barely fit through the door. You put your stuff down. You stand in the middle of your new room. Maybe it's tiny. Maybe the walls are a shade of white that's seen better decades. Maybe the only furniture is a mattress on the floor. And you just smile. Because it's yours. Nobody else's. Yours. Those first days are genuinely electric. There's this giddiness that's hard to describe to anyone who hasn't felt it. You stay up until 3 a.m. for absolutely no reason. Just because you can. You eat cereal for dinner and nobody sighs at you from across the table. You walk around in whatever you want, at whatever volume you want, at whatever pace you want. You blast music in the kitchen at 11 p.m. while doing absolutely nothing productive, and it feels revolutionary. You make the space yours. A plant on the windowsill, a poster on the wall, your candles, your colors, your chaos or your order. Your playlist fills every corner of every room, and for the first time in your life, the background noise of where you live is a soundtrack you chose. You call your friends, your cousins, whoever will listen. You have to come over. I have my own place. You say it like it still surprises you because it does. You invite people over at hours that would have caused a family meeting 6 months ago. You order food at midnight. You leave the dishes until tomorrow and feel only mild guilt about it. It feels like the beginning of something huge. Like chapter 1 of the real story. And it is. It genuinely, completely is. But then, and nobody quite prepares you for this part, reality shows up. And it doesn't knock. It doesn't ease in. It just arrives, usually around the end of the first month. And it sets its bags down like it lives there too. The first rent payment hits different when it's your account going down. You look at the number, you look at your balance, you look back at the number. You do the math 3 times, slowly, hoping the result will change. It doesn't. That amount, the one that felt abstract when you signed the lease, the one that seemed manageable in theory, is suddenly very, very real. And it comes back. Every month. Without fail. With zero interest in how the month went for you. Then you start to understand that rent is just the beginning. Groceries. You never thought much about groceries before. Food just existed in the house. Now you're standing in a supermarket aisle doing mental arithmetic, putting things back, wondering when exactly olive oil became something you have to budget for. Electricity. Water. Wi-Fi that somehow costs more than you expected, for speeds that somehow deliver less. That random service fee on your first utility bill that you don't fully understand but pay anyway, because the alternative is making a phone call and navigating an automated menu for 40 minutes. You start to realize your parents weren't being dramatic. Stuff actually costs money. A lot of it. All the time. Continuously. With no pause button. Work shifts from something you do to something you need. You don't call in sick unless you're genuinely horizontal, because missing a shift, losing a client, having a slow week, it means something now. It means the numbers don't add up. You start keeping track of things. You learn words like direct debit and standing order and overdraft protection, not from a textbook, but from personal, slightly panicked experience. And the apartment, your beautiful, free, yours apartment, requires maintenance. Not occasionally, constantly. The dishes don't do themselves. The laundry doesn't fold itself and then put itself away. The bathroom doesn't clean itself, which you find increasingly unfair the older you get. The trash needs to go out on specific days, and you will absolutely forget which day it is until you hear the truck already pulling away down the street. You'll stand at the window watching it go, bag in hand, feeling a very specific kind of defeat. There's also the quiet, unglamorous work of just keeping a life running. Booking your own appointments. Filing your own paperwork. Chasing down documents you need. Figuring out forms that seem designed to confuse. Making decisions about insurance and contracts and things nobody ever sat you down and explained. You realize at some point that there's an enormous amount of adult infrastructure that was just handled before, invisibly in the background. And now you are the background. You get tired in a way that's different from anything before. Not just physically, though, yes, also physically. It's that specific adult exhaustion that comes from carrying the full weight of your own life. Every bill, every decision, every errand, every logistical problem that needs solving, it all lands on you. There's no one to hand it off to. There's no one coming to sort it out. You are, for the first time, the most responsible person in your household. And the household is just you. And somewhere in the middle of all that, maybe late on a Tuesday night, eating something you put together from whatever was left in the fridge, sitting on your couch in the quiet of your own apartment, you have a moment. You think about home, about the kitchen that always had food in it, about the Wi-Fi that just worked, about someone else knowing when the trash day was, about the 1,000 invisible things that were handled around you for years that you never once stopped to appreciate or even notice. You don't think about it with regret. You don't wish you'd stayed. It's not that kind of feeling. It's something quieter. A kind of respect that only arrives when you finally understand what something actually costs. Not in money, but in effort, in attention, in the sheer daily energy of keeping a life together. You get it now in a way you simply couldn't before, and that understanding sits in you differently than any argument or lecture ever could. Here's the thing about independent adult life that nobody posts about. Nobody puts in the highlight reel. Nobody tells you when you're dreaming about it from your childhood bedroom. It is both harder and better than you ever imagined. Simultaneously. Without contradiction. The freedom is real. The weight is real. The pride you feel when you handle something entirely on your own. Fix a problem. Stretch a budget further than you thought possible. Figure something out that stumped you. Make it to the end of a hard month and still be standing. That pride is real too. And it's a kind of self-respect you cannot buy or borrow. It only comes from doing it. There are evenings. Your music on. Your space exactly how you want it. No one to answer to, a life that is unmistakably yours. Where you feel it. That quiet, solid feeling of having built something. Not a career, not a masterpiece. Just a life. Your life. And that is not a small thing. You're not just paying rent and buying groceries and figuring out how bins work. You're becoming someone. Someone who knows what it takes. Someone who stopped waiting for life to begin and started living inside it. Even when it's inconvenient. Even when it's exhausting. Even when it's nothing like the version you pictured from your childhood bedroom ceiling. the dream was always worth chasing. It just came with more admin than expected. And that person you're becoming on the other side of all that admin. Worth every Tuesday you forgot to take out the trash. If this one hit, subscribe. There's more where this came from.